You are feeding your baby, keeping them warm, holding them when they cry, doing everything you were told a good parent does. And you are right. You are doing it right. But there is a gap between doing it right and giving them everything. And the gap is not filled with better products or different techniques. It is filled with something nobody told you to look for, something that hides inside the most ordinary moments, that does not cry out or demand, that simply waits, quietly, in the middle of everything you are already doing. Your baby is sending you signals right now, not with words, not with crying, with the quietest communications a human being is capable of making. And most parents never learn to read them, not because they do not love their baby, because nobody ever showed them what to look for. This video is that. 7 things your baby is asking for right now, and what it builds in them when they finally receive it. Most parents look at their babies, they watch them, they check on them, they make sure they are safe and not in distress. But most parents are not looking with their baby, and that is a completely different thing. There is a moment that happens dozens of times every day that almost no one catches. The baby is lying on the mat, or sitting in your arms, or watching the world from a carrier, and their gaze lands somewhere. A shadow on the wall, a bird outside the window, the way light is moving through a curtain. Something has caught their attention, and for a moment, brief and silent, they are entirely absorbed in what they are seeing. Then, almost imperceptibly, they glance at you. That glance is not random. That glance is an invitation. The first form of sharing a human being is capable of. Your baby found something in the world that interested them, and before they have words, before they have any other way of saying it, they turned to you and said, "Look at this with me." Developmental psychologists call this joint attention. And what happens when a caregiver consistently follows that gaze, notices what the baby is noticing, and responds to it, is profound. Babies whose caregivers meet this signal develop stronger language circuits, deeper emotional security, and a more sophisticated understanding of other minds. Because when you follow your baby's gaze, you are not just doing something sweet, you are sending a message that will shape how this baby relates to every person they ever meet. You are telling them that what they find interesting is interesting, that their inner experience is worth sharing, that the world they are noticing is worth noticing together. The adult who believes their perspective is worth offering, their curiosity worth following, their inner world worth giving to another person, that belief was built here, in these quiet moments. When someone looked at what they were looking at. Your baby is not just staring at things, they are waiting to see if you will look too. Every time you do, you are telling them something they will carry for the rest of their life. Most parents wait until they understand what their baby is communicating before they respond. The cry has to be decoded, the sound has to be identified, the need has to be established. Then the parent responds. This is not wrong, but it misses something that matters more than the decoding. Your baby communicates constantly, not just when something is wrong. They babble at the ceiling. They vocalize at your face. They send sounds into the room before they have any idea what a sound is for. What they desperately want is not for you to decode the signal. They want you to respond to the act of sending it. Before your baby has a single word, they need to learn one thing above everything else, that when they send something into the world sends something back. Not sometimes, not when the signal is clear enough to understand. Every time. This is the foundation of language, not vocabulary, not grammar. The certainty that communication produces response. A baby who learns this certainty in the first months, reaches for words earlier, uses them more boldly, and trusts that what they say will be received. When your baby makes a sound and you say something back, anything, you are not teaching them language. You are teaching them that they are the kind of person whose communications matter. That lesson is more important than any word you will ever give them. Answer your baby before you understand them. The understanding comes later. The answering has to come first. Most parents are present with their baby when something needs attention. When the baby cries, you go. When they need feeding, you feed. When they are distressed, you comfort. You show up for the moments that require you, but your baby wants something that has nothing to do with need. They want you when everything is fine. There are moments every day when your baby is settled. Content, not asking for anything, just existing quietly in the world. Most parents treat these as a break, a window to do other things, a pause in the demands. Your baby experiences those moments as their most open moments. When nothing is wrong and nothing is being asked, their nervous system is most available to receive connection for its own sake, not comfort, not help. Just you, choosing to be near them when nothing requires it. And what happens in those quiet moments when a parent simply sits with their baby, not doing anything, not fixing anything, just being present with a child who is present with them, cannot be produced by any other means. The baby learns that they are worth being with, not just worth caring for, worth being with, without agenda, without a task, worth the simple fact of someone choosing to stay near them when nothing asks them to. Comfort given in distress tells a baby you will be there when they need you. Presence given in calm tells a baby you want to be there even when they do not. Those are completely different messages, and only one of them builds the deepest kind of security. Your baby does not only need you when something is wrong. The ordinary quiet moments are not pauses in the parenting. They are some of its most important work. Almost every parent, when they interact with their baby, becomes a slightly different version of themselves. The voice goes higher. The expressions get bigger. The energy lifts and brightens. This is instinctive, and it serves the baby well. Exaggerated expressions carry information that developing brains receive easily. But underneath the performance, your baby is looking for something the performance cannot give them. They want the moments when you forget to perform, when your face is just your face, when you are moved by something they did and the feeling arrives before you have organized it into the right expression. When you laugh before you decide to laugh, when something in your eyes is simply real. Your baby is not studying your performance. They are studying you, the unedited version, the one that appears in the unguarded moments. Research on infant face perception shows that babies process genuine and performed emotion differently. Genuine emotion activates the circuits for social learning. Performance activates the circuits for tracking, not connecting. The baby whose caregiver is consistently authentic, who lets real feeling arrive in their face before organizing it, is building something the baby who only receives performance is not. Your baby needs you to be moved by them, not to perform being moved, to actually be, to let the feeling show before you have shaped it into the right response, to occasionally be so caught by something they do that you forget to be the parent and are simply a person watching something remarkable. The moments they will carry deepest are not the moments you worked hardest. They are the moments your face told the truth before you had time to edit it. Stop for a moment. 4 things. None of them expensive. None of them complicated. Following their gaze. Answering before you understand. Staying when nothing is wrong. Letting your face be real. None of these are needs in the way hunger is a need. You cannot schedule them. You cannot measure them. Nothing sells them. And yet each of them is shaping the architecture of a self. What this baby will believe about whether other people will meet them. Whether their inner world is worth offering. Whether being themselves is safe. The first 4 things are the foundation. What comes next builds the structure on top of it. Most parents intervene the moment their baby struggles. The toy is just out of reach. You move it closer. The baby cannot turn over yet. You turn them. The object they are grasping keeps escaping. You hand it to them. The instinct is immediate, and it comes from love. They are struggling. You can fix it. You fix it. But your baby does not only want to be helped, they want to be the one who figured it out. In the moments between struggle and resolution, something is being built. When a baby reaches for something they cannot quite grasp, their brain is not simply trying to get the object. It is forming connections that will one day become persistence. The ability to hold a goal in mind while working toward it. The tolerance for the gap between wanting something and having it. When you remove the struggle before it resolves, you give them the object, but you take the experience, and the experience is the part that was building something. Japanese parenting has a name for the practice of watching a child struggle without intervening. Mimamoru, to watch over while protecting. To be present without rescuing. To trust the child with the difficulty while remaining close enough to catch them if it becomes too much. The baby who reaches for something 12 times and finally grasps it does not just have the object, they have something built in the reaching, something that will show up years later as the child who tries a different way when the first way does not work. The adult who can sit with difficulty without collapsing. Your baby does not want you to rescue them from every struggle. They want you to stay close while they find out what they can do. Those are completely different things, and only one of them builds anything that lasts. The space between their reaching and the resolution is not emptiness. That space is where they are becoming someone. Most parents respond to their baby's emotions by trying to change them. When the baby is upset, you soothe. When they are frustrated, you redirect. You respond to the emotional state by moving them out of it as quickly and gently as possible. But before the change, before the soothing and redirecting, your baby wants one thing. They want the feeling to be named. Not fixed, not explained, not justified, named, witnessed, heard by someone else before it disappears. You are frustrated right now. You are so happy. Something scared you. You wanted that, and it did not come. I see it. When you name what a baby is feeling before you try to change it, something happens that does not happen when you only try to change it. The feeling gets registered. It begins to have a shape, and eventually a context. The baby who consistently has their feelings named before they are managed is building something. The baby whose feelings are only managed is not. They are building the architecture beneath language, the understanding that feelings are things that can be identified, named, shared, and survived, that a feeling is not an emergency requiring immediate elimination. It is an experience that can be held, named, and moved through. This is where emotional intelligence begins. Not in a lesson, not in a curriculum. In the ordinary moment when a parent looks at a baby who is feeling something and says the true name of the thing out loud before doing anything else, the adult who grows up with their feelings consistently named does not become someone overwhelmed by emotion. They become someone who understands what they feel and can work with it. That begins here, in the first months, in the simple act of witnessing before fixing. Your baby does not want you to take the feeling away first. They want you to see it first, then take it away. The seeing has to come before everything else. Most parents believe the most important thing they can give their baby is consistency, being there, not leaving. A presence that does not break. But perfect consistency is not what your baby most needs, and it is not what builds the deepest security. What builds the deepest security is something more honest and more achievable than perfection. It is the return. Every relationship between a parent and a baby has ruptures. Moments when you are distracted. Moments when you misread the signal. Moments when you respond from exhaustion rather than presence. Moments when the connection breaks briefly and the baby registers the break. The research is clear and counterintuitive. It is not the rupture that damages a child. It is the failure to repair. A baby who experiences connection breaking and then watches it come back learns something that a baby who never experiences a break cannot learn in the same way. They learn that disconnection is not permanent, that the person who matters most can go and still come back, that a relationship can break and still hold, that the world can feel wrong and then feel right again. This is the root of resilience, not the absence of difficulty. The experience of difficulty followed by repair. A baby who learns that repair is possible, that the warmth that disappeared returns, that the person who went away comes back, is building something that no unbroken experience could give them. So when you lose your patience, when you miss the signal, when you put them down too fast and then go back in, when you misread what they needed and try again differently, that going back, that trying again, that return after the break, that is not failure followed by recovery. That is the single most important thing you can teach a baby about how relationships work. Your baby does not want you to be perfect. They want you to come back. Every time you do, you are building the thing that will hold them together when the world eventually does not. 7 things. None of them expensive. None of them complicated. None of them requiring anything you do not already have. Look at what they are looking at. Answer before you understand. Stay when nothing is wrong. Let your face be real. Let them struggle. Name what they feel. Come back after you leave. These are not techniques. They are the raw material of a self, each one shaping what this baby will believe about the world and about themselves, whether their inner experience matters, whether their communications are worth sending, whether being themselves is safe, whether the world can break and still be repaired. And in most ordinary moments of most ordinary days, you are already doing this, without knowing you are doing it, without knowing what it is building. Now you know, and knowing changes what each of these moments is. The next time you follow their gaze, answer their babble, sit quietly beside them, step back while they reach for something hard, name the feeling before you fix it, or walk back in after you walked out, you will know what that moment is. It is not a small moment. It is never a small moment. Share this with a parent who loves their baby completely and still wonders if they are enough. They are. They just needed to know what enough looks like. Subscribe for more. See you in the next one.